What's up, guys? It's Chris. Welcome to VHP Engines. So, the other day, talking to somebody, or somebody was buying a head and wanted to buy, or somebody that did buy a head and was talking about getting upgraded springs. So the question was, hey, should I get these springs or should I get these springs? And my answer was, when I'm going to do something, I go all in. I'm not just going to half step it. If I'm going to go ahead and get springs, I'm going to get the biggest ones you can get. Apparently the spring seat rating is like pretty diverse. Like I've seen a lot of different spring, weight differences or whatnot. The top rated springs are apparently 100 pounds, right? So 100 pounds of pressure to get that seat, that spring to depress. So, and the lowest one I've seen is 80 pound springs, right? So again, maybe you're thinking, why would you get the 80 versus the 100? Well, there's of course the cost difference is the first thing to think about, but I don't think the cost difference is big enough to deter me from not wanting to go all out. But when you're compiling a giant parts list or a big parts list, and you're trying to save money because your parts list is going to go over $1,000, then yeah, I guess nitpicking something like that, if you don't really need it, would be not a bad thing. So then the idea would be come to when would you want to get the lower springs versus going all out for the 100 pounds. Now, me personally, there's only one scenario that I can think of where I would get, the lower pound springs. And I guess for me, it's either you go to the very bottom one and get that one, or you go to the top one and get that one. And the only time I would consider not getting the highest, the highest pounds on the springs would be if I'm going to use stock cams. So if you're going to use stock cams, right, but you want to increase your red line for whatever reason, then getting the 80 pound springs would be not a bad idea. So it's cost effective, but yet you still get the added security of having a aftermarket spring that can handle more. So for me, I think right now the pound ratings I have, there's 3 that you can get through me, is 92, 95, and 100. Now I'd have to go back and check prices again to adjust, but I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to keep the price of the 92 pound springs right around the same price of what the 80 pound springs are. And I think the 80 pound springs sell for $350. And my seat is sinking right now. I don't know if you can tell if my head's fucking starting to drop down or not, but that's aggravating. So yeah, there's that. I guess there's not really too much more to it to add than that. It's a really short video, but one of those things where I figured I'd throw it out because it is useful information, or at least my take on what you should do for people that are looking about buying a head. I do offer the base model heads to be sold with upgraded springs, and if you're gonna buy a complete head from me and you want a complete head, but you want the upgraded springs, and then the 92 pound springs would be something I'd get. I would recommend it at $350. So $350 for the springs, but then like another $33 for the keepers. And that's why I said the other day that the price on the heads are going to go up, because I didn't compensate for that price. I didn't compensate for the price of the keepers because I thought I was going to be able to use the OEM ones, but it turns out that there's a slight difference between the keepers for the dual springs, and if you're going to use dual springs, you got to buy those other keepers. So there's that, unless you already have a dual spring keeper head. So I do have 2 sets of OEM true VTEC head springs that I am going to build VTEC killer heads with. I haven't decided on a price just yet, but of course it's going to be a lot cheaper than going with the aftermarket dual springs, but still give you a very safe 8,500 RPM red line versus using the stock springs, which are much smaller on the base head, and taking it to 85 and just playing Russian roulette. All right, guys. That's all for now. Social media links are in the description down below. The websites are in the description down below. Eventually, I will list the prices of springs on there and keepers and whatnot. Oh, maybe not keepers. I don't know. I haven't decided out yet. I probably won't. I'll probably just tell you to go buy keepers on your own there, because I think it's going to cost me money to try and sell you keepers at retail. So, again, social media links are in the description down below. Go check out the website if you want to. You might want to check out the website once every couple of weeks. I can't say that I update it weekly because I'm always really busy, and sitting down in front of the computer is not something I do very often unless I'm doing this. So yeah, do that. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.